What is up, guys? This is TCG Sam here, and I'm coming at you guys today with a pure Shaddoll deck profile. So like not the Trap Shaddoll variant, it's just a pure Shaddoll pretty much, and I guess you'll see. But if you like this type of content, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, because it really helps keep me motivated to keep posting more videos like this, and it really helps the channel out. With that being said, let's just get straight into it. So starting off with the Shaddoll lineup, I only play 2 Wendy. This is because I really felt that like drawing too many Shadolls is really bad, especially because you only have so many fusion spells. So like the Shadolls without fusion spells are just really bad. I thought double Wendy was sufficient. You can play 3 if you want. I just want to cut down the Shaddoll lineup a little bit because it has been clogging for me quite often. A lot of the times the dead hands in this deck are just a bunch of Shaddoll monsters and no fusion spells. And I never found myself like running out of Shaddoll monsters to fuse with anyways. So yeah, double Squamata, same reason as Wendy. It's good, but like you don't want to see too many. Double Hedgehog, I still kept this at 2 instead of cutting it down to 1. Just because Hedgehog is really important to always have a copy in your deck, whether you want to set it off of Wendy for a follow-up, or send it off Mathematician in order to add a monster to fuse. Because like Mathematician plus Fusion Spell, you have to have Shaddoll in deck for that to be a combo. That's it for the 2 ofs. The 1 of Shadolls, Beast, Dragon, Genius, Ariel, Falco. So Beast, I think, is pretty self-explanatory. You don't like this. You can't even set this, so like it's really bad to draw without a fusion spell. Dragon is good utility, good to use with Resh on our opponent's turn. National Genius. This is a really good card against the Tri-Brigade deck. Your construct becomes a really good interruption because if they're playing, let's say, the Zoo package, they get 4 materials easily into the graveyard, and banishing all of them with Ariel just sometimes isn't enough. So you can Genius target something going second and forces, essentially quote-unquote forces out a negation. 1 Ariel, I only played 1, I set the second copy, just for those decks that are more graveyard reliant. Ariel's a really good card, but I only have space in 1 in the main. 1 Falco, this was to alleviate kind of the low Shaddoll count. You could always just send Falco for free, bring back one of these Shadolls as fusion material for next turn. So Falco, I think, was pretty good. That's it for the main deck Shaddoll monsters. Triple Mathematician, I still play this as the normal summon. 1, because I don't have like Rilliona or like the Dogmatic Engine. This Dogmatic Engine probably would work better in here, but I don't have this stuff. So Mathematician, good budget option. Trick Clown, this is important to make Verte Anaconda with just the Mathematician, because essentially that becomes your fusion spell. It's a great light target to send off of Shaddoll Fusion. Now for the hand traps. Triple Nibiru, Triple Phantasme, and the Gamma package. So what you may notice, all these have in common. 1, they don't lose to Call by the Grave. 2, they all put bodies on the board, which is really, I wanted hand traps to do that, because Verte Anaconda ups the consistency of this deck by a lot, because essentially any 2 monsters become a fusion spell, and that's really important. And of course, like, Phantasme helps you unbrick, Nibiru's a pretty high impact hand trap, Gamma can protect yourself going second. So these are all really good. The attributes are great too. Lights in Nibiru and Gamma, and Darks and Phantasme. Those are some pretty good attributes. Perfect for this deck. So that's it for the monsters. For the spells, 3 of each of the fusions. Nothing to say there. I'm going to talk a little bit about Super Polymerization. I know it's not super great this format because decks like Tri-Brigade and Prank Kids don't really have the good attributes. A lot of them are like, and Virtual Worlds even, they all have like Wind attribute. However, I'm going to talk a little bit more about this when we get to the extra deck. I'm going to talk a little bit about El Shaddoll Wendigo. I know, like, the card sucks. Yes, I agree. But I would, like, consider playing it as the Super Poly card, because essentially it makes one of the best cards in the game live against every single matchup. Because, like, for now, it's live against, like, half the meta, roughly. It's live against, like, Drytrons, Phantom Knights, like, Dogmatica, Invoke Shaddoll. Like, it's live against those decks, but it's not live against Virtual World, Prank Kids, and Tri-Brigade. So Super Poly, because they all end on wind monsters. Blood Butler's a win, Appaloosa's a win, Shen, Crystal Wing are all wins. So that would make Super Poly live against them. So, and Super Poly is just such a powerful card in this deck. It adds consistency, and it also outsboards. So it's like, what more do you want from a card? I do play double regular Polymerization. This was just to kind of alleviate the fusion spell problem. I actually did play this in an OTS qualifier, but like I didn't do very well in it. I didn't really see this, so I can't really say how good this was. But in theory, this is really good. He just gives you more fusion spells to play with, because the hands, like I said, that you brick with are the ones that you don't have any fusion spells. But you can replace these 2 with any cards that you want. Last card's Foolish Barrel, Upstart. Foolish Barrel, obviously, for any Shaddoll monster. Upstart for consistency. And then finally, I just play 1 of each of the trap. I think that obviously Schism is a 1 of Resh. I only think 1 is enough. Even though I find myself using the Banish and Flip effect a lot of the times I find that I would go for Schism or El Shaddoll Fusion as like the ways to summon fusion monsters on my opponent's turn anyways. So that's why I only think 1 Resh is enough. You can definitely play 2 if you want, though. It's definitely a really, really good card. For the extra deck, Triple Construct, I do play Lights in the main deck, so you guys can't complain about that. But yeah, obviously the best one, Winda, this is really good as well, Apkallone. These are very standard ratios. I do play Shekanaga. This card, I really would consider swapping out for El Shaddoll Wendigo. For those of you who don't know what Wendigo does, like, its effect is, like, terrible. But the fact that it's the wind version of the Shaddoll monster, and like I was discussing when I was talking about Super Poly, the fact that it makes this card live against every single matchup in the meta is really, really important, and I would definitely highly recommend you at least consider it. Especially if like your locals is like full of those like Tri Brigades and Prankets and stuff, it's really, really important. Like, I know the effect sucks, not as good as Shekanaga, but the thing with Shekanaga is, like, realistically in the meta, what's hitting is Prankets, Roxy's, and the Zoo monsters, but like that's not very great. And even against the Zoo monsters, like, you can just let the Zoo guys summon themselves, they make Zeus, and then on the summon of Zeus, Super Poly make Construct. That's just a lot better. So I would definitely consider swapping Shekanaga out for Wendigo. Even though Wendigo sucks, I know you're pretty much never gonna summon it. You're never gonna summon it normally. If you have Wendy and something else, you're always going for Apkallone over Wendigo. But like I said, it's just an option for you guys. But yeah, that's it for the Shaddoll monsters. I play Starving Venom. I still think this is important because it essentially allows you to, if your opponent has a board of like Dragoon and something else, and you set a Dark Shaddoll monster, instead of making Winda, you can make this, and this actually threatens the board a lot more. First of all, once with this effect to target 1 level 5 or higher monster, it becomes that monster's original name and steals its effect. So against something like, I don't know, against Dragon Link, against like Hot Red Dragon, this essentially becomes Hot Red effect, and they're forced to negate it. But if it's destroyed by Battle or card effect, destroys all special summon monsters your opponent controls one. So essentially, it can hypothetically force out 2 negates. One at the very minimum if you just like crash it into a Borderload Savage or something. So this is really important as a Super Poly target. It's really, really good. For the Link monsters, Gravity Controller, Artemis, there's not much more to say about this. This is just definitely better than Secure Gardener, because like that card plays into Nibiru more, and also you don't really care about the fire monster in the graveyard, so Artemis just stays on extra deck space. I do play Shaddoll Construct. This is kind of like the 15th card in my extra deck. You don't have to play this. I just kind of like this card because essentially if you're trying to like if you're forced to like play kind of a slow game and like set your Shaddoll monsters, this one's really, really good. It becomes a lot better than a card like Anaconda does, because it actually gives you follow-up after. You can bring it back for like, you can link climb with it too, because like with Anaconda, once you use it, your turn is over pretty much after you fusion summon, but this lets you link climb into Borderload Dragon, so I think that's pretty good. It doesn't come up too often, but you guys can swap it out for whatever card you want. Cross Sheep, obviously, good resource play. Anaconda, you can see a lot of my deck is focused around having the option to make Anaconda for consistency. So yeah, just remember this card, very, very good. You can send Super Poly as well, which is also why I like playing this, because essentially it turns your Virtual Anaconda into a board breaker as well. So yeah, those two, and then finally Borderload Dragon. I don't make this a lot, but you can definitely link climb into it with like Cross Sheep and Shaddoll Construct, and I just think it's a little better than what's it called, Access Code Talker in this deck specifically, because you have a limited number of attributes in your extra deck. Like, it's gonna be dark and light pretty much only, and like Access Code, you want more things to pop, but you can definitely play Access Code plus Selene or something, and because everything is spellcasters here. But yeah, that's it for the pure Shaddoll deck profile. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Comment down below what you think of Super Poly in this format, and what you think of my like kind of logic with El Shaddoll Wendigo. Like I said before, I know the card sucks, and its effect it's pretty much a vanilla. It may as well be a vanilla, but the fact that it lets you use Shaddoll monsters plus makes this live against every single deck. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. With that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.